NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube and YouTube TV, which means that you can stay close to your team even if you don't live in their town. Like, maybe you're a Raven who married a Seahawk who got a job in the land of the Falcons. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your team's out-of-market Sunday afternoon games no matter where you live, because you shouldn't have to change teams even if you change towns. NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Go to youtube.com/presale to get $50 off.
Terms and embargoes apply. Offer ends 9/19. No refund. Subscription auto renews.
This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae.
And this is our house. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, episode 148. I'm one of your hosts, Breezy.
And I'm your other host, Rae. And we have a special co-host guest today. I think she's more of like a special co-host.
I would say so.
Yeah. Not
special
like
co-host.
Yeah, like a alternate additional co-host for playoffs. We thought we would bring in our friend Alma Serrano. Let's see. How do we describe Alma? Well, I met Alma first when I still lived in LA at a Kings game through a mutual friend of ours, Augie. And we sat next to each other at a hockey game at a Kings game and just totally clicked. We were both on the Jumbotron that day together.
Scary. That's scary.
Exactly. And then I was like, oh my God, we have to, like, Breezy and Alma have to meet at a Kings game. And that moment finally happened this season. I mean, it's been what, like 3 years, Alma? 2 years? 3 years?
3 years, actually.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So Alma is a diehard hockey fan just like us. She travels to see her favorite players play. She travels to see her team play. She's been at Kings playoff games, like the works. She travels by herself to go to games just like I do. And Breezy, have you been to games by yourself?
I went to, I think, 2 playoff games by myself. They were Kings games, so I drove the trek to LA.
Yeah.
Nothing like you guys.
But like, we're all very similar minded, and Alma listens to the podcast too. And we love chatting. We have a group chat. We chat with each other about all things hockey, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Okay. Explain first to the audience, who's your team? Your team?
So I'm from LA. So I am a Kings fan. Obviously, I mean, not obviously because of what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Devils shirt, but I'll explain. So I'm a Kings fan, born and raised in LA. Actually, I was almost a Ducks fan, believe it or not. So I started following the Kings in 2014. My best friend, who I went to the playoff game on Friday, took me to my first game. We've been friends since 6th grade. So me just messing around one day, I was like, hey, you're always at Kings games. How about you take me to one? And he's like, okay. And it was actually a Kings Hawks game. And I was like, I can't follow the Kings. I don't want to be a bandwagon fan. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be told that. So, whatever, going with an open mind. But being in there during the 2014 season was just, you could not be a fan of the Kings. That team was amazing. The environment was amazing. It was just a regular season game. But I mean, I had never been to one, and I had never seen, just for a regular season, I've never seen the fans so in sync about just the cheering, the oohs, the ahs, and the, everything. So it was very hard not to fall in love with it. And I've been a fan ever since. So I think it was like November of 2014. And I've been a fan ever since. And it was just, it's so hard to not be a fan of the Kings.
It's true. I mean, it really is. That whole run too, it was just like a different breed of fans, I think, that were in that building.
I mean, I would disagree, but that's for obvious reasons.
But you're also a Hawks fan, so
yes.
I mean, yeah. You disagree with a lot of things about the Kings.
I sure do.
Yeah, except I did tell Mikey, the in-arena host for the Kings, that I was going to get Ray to say "Go Kings, go" at one point, and I was thinking about taking my editing skills, which are absolutely terrible, by the way, and like doing like little clips of Ray saying like "Go" and then Kings, and then like clip them together. But
By
that
all
didn't happen.
means, have
That
at
did
it.
not happen.
Have
It
at
might
it.
happen though.
I
It might
dare you to
happen.
go for it. When I did a video series interviewing fans, I interviewed Kings fans, and one of them was like, "Go Kings, go," and I was like, "Go hockey, go!" Like, I will not say "Go Kings." I'm that. I gotta delete that. I won't say
But you already said it.
GKG. What is it?
You already said it.
GKG. No,
You said it. You
I
said
caught
a
myself.
Kings fan, that a Kings fan was saying "Go Kings, go," and I said "Go hockey, go."
There it is. She gave it to you.
Mission accomplished. I don't even have to take my editing skills to work.
Jesus Christ. Here we go. Here we go. It's all about I want Breezy to tell before we get into Alma's Jersey Devils New Jersey Devils shirt and why she's wearing that, but tell Alma what you told me when you went to the Kings game and what you found.
Oh, yeah, about this.
Yeah, about that.
Alma, you have some explaining to do. Because I went to the Kings game and I was with my nephew's girlfriend, and she's never been to like warmies before. So she wanted to go. So we got there really early, and I was like, I guess, like, where do you want to stay? And she goes, I don't know, it's up to you. And I was like, great. I just love when people do that to me. So I just started like walking, and I was like, I don't know, do you want to go here? Like, you want to go there? Like, a lot of people stand here. Do you just want to go here? She goes, I don't know, wherever you want to go. And I was like, fine. So I like walk down and I like sit down, and she sits next to me, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, Sarah, we have like an hour and a half until warmups. Like, we have a while. I was like, okay, I guess we're just gonna just hang out. And then she looks down and she goes, that sticker's funny. And I looked down and I was like, that says Alma's name. And so I took a picture of it and I was like, what is this? And what is this?
So, God, since when? I think 2016. That's been my warm-up spot every game, except this season, work or just adulting got in the way. So I haven't been able to go to as many Kings games, and when I do, it's literally by puck drop. I can't make it the hour and a half before warm-ups, but that's been my spot for years, since Adrian Kempe's rookie year. That's my spot. And there's a couple of names on there too. So for the longest time, we were all there during warm-ups, our same spots for years to come. And my friend was just like, I'm going to put our names on it. And she went ahead and put it there. And for some reason, they haven't taken them off. Like, those have been there. I mean, we've replaced the names, but those have been there for years and they've not taken them off. We were there on Friday and we're like, hey, they cleaned our area. Like, I don't know if the cleaning crew thinks it's like in memory of somebody that they haven't removed them. So they're just there and it's all nice and crispy. And I'm like, oh my God.
You guys, there's
Yeah,
like
nice
a
and clean.
label. There's a
It's
label,
just a label.
like
It's
a
just
label maker on the glass, on the metal, underneath the glass, like where in front of his seat, it just says Alma. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
She
And
has
then Jenny,
like,
and then Jenny's to the side.
And
I
then
was like,
Jenny, that's my best friend.
So I'm like looking at Sarah, and Sarah's like, I guess I could be Alma and you could be Jenny. You look more like a Jenny. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So I've never like told anybody like, hey, this is my spot, like, you know, my name's on there. I wanted to try it, but I feel like the fans who like go and try to claim a spot during warm-ups, I feel like they're so douchey. It's like, it's warm-ups. If you made it there early, fine. If it's your seat, it's warm-ups. You're gonna be there for the game. So I've never tried it. I've been tempted to be like, hey, excuse me, my name's on there. Please.
you know, I would. And if I was with you, it would be like, this is Alma. Do you need me to show you her ID? Because like, this is her spot for warm-up. So you just sit down. You're probably not even a real fan. These are probably corporate seats. So just chill out.
It was
So
wild.
that's
like,
all it is. That's literally all it is.
But like,
That's the
it was
coolest
just so
thing.
weird how like I ended up in that area, like without
Yeah.
even knowing.
So
yeah,
weird.
I know. I get a message from Breezy and she's like, is this you? And I send it to Jenny and I'm like, oh my gosh, they found me.
That's so cool.
So yeah,
So
that's
funny.
it. I have my name on the Staples Center glass.
Yeah.
Or
so
crypto dot. I still call it
Staples.
Center. Yeah.
The Staples Center. Yeah.
So if anybody's doubting her devotion to the team and the fact that she is not a bandwagon fan, there's proof. Tell everybody who your favorite players are that you follow. Like, you're a fan of also specific players who don't play for the Kings. So who are those players and why?
Yeah. So I've always been the type of person to, like, I guess, gravitate towards like maybe the rookies or the very not well-known players or just the up and coming players. That's always been a thing of mine. It always has. And I don't know. So my favorite player plays for the New Jersey Devils. It's Timo Meier, and I like Trevor Zegras as well. So at the beginning of the season, I guess it wasn't very good to be fans of rival players, but I mean, it's my thing, I feel. But no, with Timo, I guess I went to a training camp once. He happened to be in Group B, so all of the main player, like the players on the main roster had already practiced, and it was during I think it was the acquisition of Erik Karlsson. So everybody was there for that Group A. And then, in March is Group B. And I'm just kind of sitting there and I was like, who's that? And I asked one of my friends and he's like, oh, that's Timo Meier. And I go look at his Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, instant follow. And I was just watching him skate. And I was like, okay. And I just messing with my friend. I was like, that's going to be my favorite player. I'm not from San Jose, so I go and wave at them, and he just throws me a little wink, and I was like, wait, what? That was for me? Oh my gosh, yes, ultimate favorite player. That's my favorite player. I go to opening night that season, and then I was like, yep, that's gonna be it. And I tell my friend I blame him for this because he is from San Jose, and he would send me anything Timo, like, oh, look, they posted Timo, oh, Timo this, oh, Timo that. So I started watching, and it was just very hard not to be a fan of his. I love his style of play. And again, just still being a fan now, just watching him develop into the player that he is now is amazing. Like, when I started watching him in San Jose, I had to get a custom jersey because his weren't available for sale. You have the Coutures, all of those players available, not Timo. So I got a custom jersey, and it's just crazy to see that at the beginning of this season, I went to their home opener, and everybody, a ton more 28 jerseys were there. And I was like, it's crazy that now he's one of these elite players, or really well known in the league, especially during trade talks. I'm like, wow, now his name's everywhere, where before it wasn't, or he was still not the star in the San Jose team. He's still not the star here with the Devils. Like I told you guys, I went to a game and I'm like, oh my gosh, 90% of their fans are Jack Hughes fans, and all teens. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there I am, oh, Timo. But yeah, that's how he's one of my favorite players. Anytime I've ever run into him, he's always so nice. Always willing to sign anything. I'm scared that one of these days he's going to be like, girl, what else do you need me to sign for you? Always so nice, always willing to just chat for a little bit, take pictures. Amazing. And same thing with Trevor Zegras. I mean, what's not to like about him? I like him just being unique. And, I watched Trevor Zegras win, the gold medal with USA. And since then I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to be great. And to see this kid live out his dream in the NHL and the way that he's doing it, it's amazing. Everybody knows him. Either you like him or you hate him. And I like him. And his rookie year, I went to San Jose, and they happened to be playing the Ducks. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a Zegras jersey and just test my luck. Let's see if I can get him to sign it. So just waiting there, and he comes out, and I call his name, and somebody had kind of just moved him to not go near me to sign my jersey. They're just like, get on the bus. And he's like, no, I'm gonna sign her jersey. And he stopped. He's like, what's your name? signs my jersey. A lot of other fans were there and they're like, oh my gosh, it's Zegras. So he took pictures with them. And since that moment, I'm like, I cannot not be a fan. Like, he did that for me, for us. I love that about hockey players. It's just they're just a very unique breed. They're always so approachable, so nice, and just wandering around anywhere. Like, if you're ever in a city and there happens to be a hockey team there, chances are you're gonna run into them, like, just out and about, being very cool and very chill. I remember texting Ray and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at Yard House and the Blackhawks are here. And she's like, you run into everybody. But it's just like, they're just like us, normal people.
Yeah. I'm like, what do they look like? What are they doing? Who is there? Go talk to them. FaceTime me. What's going on? But you have a way of, like, you figured out, well, not, this isn't in like a creepy way, but like, they're approachable if you just know where they stay. And like in LA, they all stay at the hotel that's connected to Staples. So like, they just walk to the arena. Like, it's not any like secret. There's no real security. I mean, they're walking with the team. Like, anybody can go and, just, if you know what time they're going in, you have to go early, but then you could go to the Yard House and, hang out or whatever. So if you want to know where the players are in LA, San Jose, Anaheim.
Yeah, that's
Anaheim? No,
just San Jose and LA. It's well known. It's just everybody, you'll ask somebody and they're like, oh, they're staying here. Sometimes even in San Jose, when the Preds were there, my friend's a big Roman Yossi fan, like Breezy. So he's like, we gotta see Roman. And I was like, you know what? If I can get a picture for Breezy, let's do this. So I got ready. We went, and even the securities are like, hey, just FYI, the Preds aren't staying here. They're staying here. The team that we are going to be hosting is the Blackhawks, but they don't get in until this time. Right. So I guess it's no secret. Like, everybody knows.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's so fun. Like, you're so committed to it. Should we talk a little playoff hockey?
Let's go.
This week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by... It's NBA playoffs time. That means big hoops action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Get in on the excitement of every game with the touch of a button. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Plus, everyone can score a no-sweat same-game parlay every day during the NBA playoffs. Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. If it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. Download the app now and sign up with code THPN. That's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, that's 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Okay, what series are you watching?
So I limited myself because I am a very emotional sports fan. Like, I went to Friday's game and I was
Kings game.
I felt Kings game.
Yeah.
I felt tightness in my chest at one point. They gave out rally towels. That was not no rally towel for me. It was a stress towel. Right now it's all wrinkled because I kept doing this to it, and it was just like I've committed myself to just watching the Kings and the Devils for obvious reasons, because I don't want to get too emotionally invested because I will. But yesterday was very hard to not tune into the other games, as like 3 of those games went into overtime. So I caught up with that. I'm kind of caught up, but I've been just Kings and Devils.
Yeah, I've been watching Leafs and Lightning, and then Boston. I've been watching the Boston series, Florida, but I can't stay up late on like the weeknights, like to watch the West Coast games. So I'm counting on you two to tell me what's going on there. Breezy, who are you?
When
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
out in the East Coast, I was telling people, because we're out at a bar and it's 1 a.m. There's still hockey on, and I'm like, how do you guys do it? I would not be able to. They're like, no, consider yourself lucky. Like, your game's in at 10. You still have the rest of the night to do whatever you need to do. Whereas us, games are at 1 or 2. We don't even stay up to watch.
No, like I want to watch
That's
the
crazy.
Wild series, but I'm like not going to stay up that late when they're in Colorado. Breezy, who are you watching? Kings?
I'm pretty much watching all of them, to be honest.
Whoa.
If I can, I'm tuning in and watching as many as I can, because that is my only escape from the chaos in my life right now.
Yeah.
Yesterday I started Vegas played at 1. So I started yesterday. I just sat in the backyard and I was like, I need to chill out. I watched hockey from like 1 o'clock to like 10 o'clock when the Kraken game ended. So yeah, yesterday was a good time.
Okay. Speaking of the Vegas series, how is Mark Stone doing after his injury? Clearly he's having a stellar performance.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. And he's hyped too. Like every time like he does something, he's doing something good because he gets excited about it. Like he's not being the typical stone-faced Mark Stone.
Yeah.
So
he's in tip-top shape then.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Okay.
Definitely.
And they're goaltending?
Unfortunately. Jonathan Quick is a healthy scratch. He is not even the backup goalie. He has not suited up for a single playoff game.
That's weird.
Kind of wild. Not sure what the play is on that, but bold move.
And Alma, chime in with any thoughts too as we talk on
well, I was
all
gonna
of these.
say with like Mark Stone, I feel like maybe his dad powers were activated for the playoffs. I think he just had a baby, so I'm like, oh yeah, dad powers.
That's
activated.
True. That happens. That does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. How do we think the Kraken are gonna do?
Oof. I mean, they play well when they play well, and I think it was what's his name?
Such a
Yanni
like
Gourde?
hockey thing to say.
I know. Yanni Gourde, I think, came out. I was watching it last night, and he said that they play their best when they're all like connected, which obviously that's like an obvious statement. But he says once they can get back to like that mindset, that they get into like a certain mindset, and they all have to be on that certain mindset in order for it to go, which I guess like that makes sense. That's like different than like all connecting. But they were giving the Avalanche a run for their money. I mean, it went into overtime last night, and it was back and forth. So I think that the Avs maybe underestimated what the Kraken can do.
Yeah, I think McKinnon said that. He quoted recently just saying that this was the hardest first round team he's ever faced.
Yeah,
which is something along those lines.
Kind of crazy, but I hope the Kraken can come out on top for the sake of like they're kind of the underdog team. And the whole entire city, like I don't know if it's true or not, but I think I saw something where it said school's out when playoffs are on.
I don't know, but I think that's amazing.
Wow.
Do you know?
I have no clue, but I have a friend that's going to tomorrow's game, so I'm gonna ask him, can you do us a favor and just ask around? We heard it, but we want confirmation from somebody in Seattle, so I'll find out.
Yeah. But, and you went to a Kraken game, Alma. What did you think when you watched them play, like their style of play?
Well, so I went to 2 games last year, and in their home barn, but then I saw them play against the Ducks and I saw them play here. And I went to that high scoring game against the Kings that was just so back and forth, and it was crazy. But it's just so crazy to see that a team nobody even thought was gonna get into a playoff position be this great. And it's so, I feel like they kind of remind me of what is it, Vegas's first season, where it's like all the bunch of players nobody wanted are in a team and they're all meshing well, and it's a good combination of just that. And I get it, you never expect these players to end up having just a great season, let alone just the entire team. So they've been fun to watch. I didn't have the best fan experience when I was there. So I feel like I hold that against them a little bit, but taking that aside, like it's going to be exciting to see where they go. Cause I also feel like people thought, Seattle had it easy with Colorado just not being a full healthy team, that they were just going to break down, and they're putting up a fight too. So I actually had the Kraken in 5 games. The way this series is going, I think it goes 7. Still in favor of the Kraken, but I feel like this is going to be a 7-game series.
All right. You heard it here. Also, last night, this is insane. Austin Matthews, this is the only positive thing I'll say about him probably ever on this podcast. Had his first ever fight ever against Steven Stamkos. They went full on. They both are 60-point goal scorers, and that was Austin Matthews' first career fight, which is like so insane that we have that this year. And then we had Sidney Crosby's first ever ejection from a game this year. Like these like superstar players that like we don't necessarily hear about in this way. I could not believe that scrum, and like Stammer just ripped him a new one. Like Austin had no chance. Like that is not his vibe. That is like, I could not imagine him ever fighting anybody ever. So I was really happy to see Stammer just beat the living daylights out of him. Like I hope he has a guy. Like
I was excited to see that. Like I saw, again, I wasn't watching the game, but I saw it get posted on Instagram, and my jaw just dropped to the ground because I was like, oh my gosh, this is what playoff hockey is about. I loved it. I don't hate Austin Matthews, okay? He's half Mexican, okay? I have to stick up for my people.
That's fine. I have nothing against him being Mexican. I have everything against his fashion choices, okay?
No, actually have a story. So when the Leafs were in town, I was sitting in the suite levels. So as soon as the game was over, we bolted out of there because I was like, I want to see Justin Bieber. Let's go see if we can run into him in the elevators. Let's go. So me and my brother running to the elevators, and while we missed Justin Bieber by a millisecond, because I saw it get posted on social media, he's leaving, and shortly after, Austin Matthews' family goes into the elevator. Well, we rode the elevator with Austin Matthews' family, and I spoke to his mom, and I was like in Spanish, hey, big fans of your son. We've been watching him, since his rookie year. We love him. And, just having a full conversation with her in Spanish. And then I asked her to take a picture, and she hugs me and she's like, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. And the whole family's like, oh my gosh, how cute. And it was awesome. So again, another fan interaction or family interaction. I can't hate him. I love him.
Oh, that's a hard one for me to swallow. I can't. Breezy, any thoughts on the fight?
I loved it. That game was pretty bonkers. They were fighting left and right.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that Corey Perry was going to get knocked out just because I hate that guy. But
same.
Well, so do all the Leafs fans. They've been chanting Perry sucks, which is another incredible playoff. Only in the playoffs.
I love it. So I was really excited to to see the Leafs win last night. They needed it. Double OT, right? I think it was double OT.
Mm-hmm. Are they gonna get out of the first round?
I already made my statement. You already know what that is.
I know, but I'm like,
this is the year. I have Leafs in 5. That's on my bracket. It's their Leafs in 5. I just it has to be. This has to be the year.
Yeah, it does. It does have to be.
So they started off in Toronto, right? So they're playing So
Yeah.
five would put it back in Toronto for a win.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
It could
Those
happen.
fans deserve that. They deserve
do.
that. Did you guys see the ticket prices for the playoff games? It was like,
No.
if you're paying that much money, you deserve it.
I saw it was the Rangers had the highest ticket price for the first round. Was it Rangers and
Yeah.
Leafs? It was over $1,000 for a Rangers ticket, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, so I actually because of my work schedule, I'm off Fridays and Saturdays. So I was actually looking into going to the Rangers game yesterday, and I had found a flight. I had found a decent priced hotel. I was like, I will get in and get out of New York. Like I want to be at MSG. Like I want to see
Yeah.
my favorite player at MSG. I go to check ticket prices, and I like sitting in the lower bowl. Like I have an explanation for that, but I like sitting in the lower bowl. So I go to pick a seat, $2,500, not including fees. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm not paying this for a first round game 3, right? It was game 3. I'm not paying this.
No.
I was like, Stanley Cup, maybe if it could be a game clincher, I'll put it on my credit card. I'll pay it off. We'll see. But for a first round,
No
I
way.
was like, I can't do it. I
That's
love you, Timo,
insane.
but no.
Like what Rangers fans are paying that? Like it's got to be like all season ticket holders, and then
it's
what?
gotta
Just
be
like
like a Gigi Hadid. Like, let's be real.
right, and like she's not a real fan. Like get out of here. Like Alma deserves to be
I
there.
think they go to a lot of games. I'll give Gigi's a Rangers fan. I'll give her
But
that.
she's from LA.
She was born in Santa Barbara.
All right,
But
whatever.
but she's lived in New York. Like now, I'm a Gigi Hadid fan. Holy crap!
Oh, what a
whatever.
surprise! What a surprise! What a surprise!
Just walk myself in these situations
I
every
know.
time.
Okay, but like the celebrities, like that's not fair. Like the regular fans should they should be gifting those seats. Like Gigi, if she's really like gift that seat to Alma, okay, Gigi? Like get Alma that ticket and like
See, and you have Rangers fans, because I know those
I
are
know
that's
you do. Yeah.
Breezy's like third team. I know that's
Yes.
like that's like
fourth team, her fourth team, Alma, fourth
and
team.
It's nothing against them. I've been to a game at MSG. I always said I want to go when I'm not there to see anybody else, so I can join in on the fun, because it is a very fun arena. But I feel like just with a lot of big cities, like all of a sudden everybody needs to be at a Rangers game. And I think that's what it is, because the New York Yankees were there. Good thing they lost in front of them. So whatever. But, you get a lot of Rangers fans being like, oh yeah, Devils games feels like a home game. Well, yeah, you're charging an arm and a leg to get into your arena. I would take the train to go to Jersey for half the price or a fraction of the price too.
Oh yeah. I think the Devils tickets were the cheapest of the playoff tickets. What I last looked,
they were still sort of kind of a pretty penny. Like I know for LA ticket prices went up just a tad, because I remember last year I think I paid like $143 for the lower level without fees, and not bad. And this time it was $250. So I was like, it was an increase, but you know what? I follow through with like playoff LA hockey. So I do feel that the ticket prices worked in the fans' favor, because it kept the Instagram influencers away from the arena. Because people are not gonna pay, just to be there. The Instagram fans not gonna pay that money to go to a game, whereas us as hockey fans will pay anything just to be there. And I don't know if that's what it was, but I was talking to our friend Augie last night, and I even told Mikey this at the game on Friday. LA is a playoff town. Nobody can tell me that ever again. The energy in that building was immaculate. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I went to the playoffs last year. It lacked that. I will be one to say that, LA is one of the arenas that kind of lacks in I'm a big music person as well, so it kind of lacks in the energy when it comes to that. Mikey brings it. I told him that. Mikey, that
does bring
arena
it.
is amazing because you make it amazing. The fan interaction, amazing. But the music, very repetitive. Like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, really, we're playing this again? I don't know if they had been listening to me complain all season, but that went out the window on Friday. It was just from start to finish. Everybody was on their feet. Everybody was there for hockey. And I remember just going to my seat and I'm like, I can't wait for the Kings to score so that we can blow the roof off this building. And it happened. I've never been to a playoff game like this before. And I always said, I've been to playoff games in San Jose. I had always said that energy is unmatched. San Jose goes all out for their playoffs. And this time I was like, you know what? Like, I think LA can give San Jose a run for their money when it comes to the playoff energy, because it was amazing. Like, my voice is still sort of kind of shot out because of Friday, but I was like, nobody can ever take that away from us. Like, we are a hockey town. Despite being from LA, you can say, oh, you know, everybody's bandwagoning our team. You know what? I don't care. You want to support my team? Go for it. I know what it's like to, you know, get behind a city. Just please, guys, if you're going to root for us, it's go Kings go, not let's go Kings. But it was amazing.
You heard me say it at the beginning of the show. So yeah.
Amazing.
You better clip that for me.
I am not clipping that. I could tell you that. You're going to have to clip it yourself and send it to Mikey. This is not happening. What I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on was I read, I was scrolling headlines on ESPN, which is not my favorite source for hockey content, but there was an article, and I didn't dare read it because it was just going to piss me off, but it was why the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup this year. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. I think that we know why we know why last year was so special for the Oilers. And I think that they have that momentum this year. But I just think that they are missing some sort of an it factor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Kings have a lot to prove. And I think that the Kings are going to come out on top. It's probably going to be a 7-game series, which is fine. Kings are really good with their backs up against the wall when it comes to need it kind of games. The end of the season, they did need to win a few of those games, but I think that they were kind of just, foot off the pedal. Kevin Fiala is supposed to be in, or could be in tonight, which is Sunday's game. Adding Kevin to the lineup, because Kevin hasn't been in for any of the playoff games, he brings something different. And I think that Kevin alone could turn around and just amplify the Kings a little bit more. So I still think it's going to go into a 7-game series, just because I firmly believe that playoff games always will go to 7-game series for money reasons.
Right.
But
especially the first round.
But I do think that the Kings are probably going to eliminate the Oilers this in the round 1.
Let's see how long this lives.
Oh yeah,
you know what?
Let's see if this prediction lives on.
No, I have Kings in my bracket. I have Kings in 6, and last year I was proud of my team because we were in a rebuild. We weren't supposed to make playoffs. They had said, this is probably like a 3-year window, and we are there. So even taking that Oilers team to 7 games was amazing. I was satisfied with that. I was like, you know what?
Yep.
It just wasn't our year. Aside from just the energy in the building, this team feels special from start to the end of the season. Like Breezy said, we needed to win those 2 games to place a little bit differently towards the end of the season. We didn't do it, but it was like, you know what? Some of our guys were pretty banged up as well. So this team just feels like they just feel special. It feels different. And the fact that Edmonton is big and Edmonton is feisty, and game 1, we got shoved around so much, game 2 as well. And we're a small team, and we were kind of, head to head with them on Friday, and I was like, you know what? My boys are putting up a fight, and they're going to continue to. So adding to what Breezy said, bringing Kevin into the lineup, I think that's what, if we're missing anything, that's what it is. Bringing him in, it's like, it's gonna be different. And I still stand by my statement, Kings in 6.
Okay.
So you got to figure the last few games we were out Mikey Anderson, which I have a major crush on Mikey Anderson. I'm just going to make that a public statement. Gabe Velarde and Kevin Fiala. So those are 3 key players in the Kings lineup. Because the King, I mean, head to toe, the Kings, everyone on every single line is a key player on the Kings. Like, it's because they're a special team, like Alma said. But now, so Mikey came back after that stupid McDavid hit that we're not going to talk about. Gabe Velarde's back, which was huge, absolutely huge. And then to bring Kevin back, I know I'm kind of sounding like a broken record now, but to bring, if you have that full team is way better than the Oilers, and that's a bold statement. Again, probably not going to age well because that never happens to me. However, I really don't think that headline about the Oilers winning the Stanley Cup, it's just, that's not happening. It's not happening.
Okay. It's not going to happen then. I was checking. I don't think that the Oilers will win the Stanley Cup. I would be absolutely shocked, and I think so would every other hockey fan. But I can't really form a true opinion on this first round series, but I was curious to see what you guys had to say. I mean, a little bit of a biased opinion being Kings fans, but also, you know, you backed it up, obviously. I was looking while you guys were talking and listening because I wanted to see if any of the series in the first round had the potential for sweeping, and there is not a single first round this year with the option to sweep. Everybody, as of Sunday, April 23rd, every series is 2-1. Is that crazy?
That's wild.
It's awesome though. This is what playoff hockey is all about. I mean, come on, for the standings to come down to the last game of the season, we were set up for probably some pretty amazing playoff games in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for these series to be like this at like 2-1, like that, like could go anywhere. Like there's like, you have to watch every game. You have no idea what is going to happen. I mean, it's crazy to me. I'm excited to keep watching this playoff hockey. Also, final thoughts. Have you seen the ad that I think the NHL is running? I think it's an NHL ad with the song Kiss Me from Sixpence None the Richer. And they have oh my God, you guys, it's like the best ad I've seen. Do you remember that song? Kiss me under the milky, whatever, twilight, leave me. It's from the movie Breezy that we couldn't remember several episodes ago when we were talking about Freddie Prinze Jr. She's all that. Thank you. We couldn't remember the name of the movie. It's in that movie, and they took that song. I swear to God, they listened to our podcast because we were talking about whatever they played that song and have like, they're showing clips of former teams winning the Stanley Cup and kissing the cup. And I was like, this is brilliant. Why hasn't this song been like tied to an ad for the NHL Stanley Cup Finals? And I'm like, this is our song. This is the movie we were talking about. And so it's happening. You guys got to watch it. It's great. It's very well done.
I'm gonna
like,
look for first thing when we get off, because I have to see it.
Because like I heard the music first, like I wasn't paying attention to the ad. It was playing in between the game and I was just listening and I was like, is this the song I think it is? And I was like, what is this an ad for? And I was like, of course it is. It's the song and they're all kissing the cup. I just thought it was like super cheesy, but like in a good way. I think it just like really hit the nail on the head with that one. Also, Patrick Kane and Chris Kreider are on fire and unstoppable. And Patrick Kane is underrated. He has his ability to assist. And
a Blackhawks fan would say Patrick Kane is underrated.
I'm just saying.
Because nobody gives him the credit he deserves, I swear to God. But like, he is such an instrumental part of this New York Rangers team. And it's still really weird for me to say he assisted Kreider on 2 power play goals, 2 back-to-back in the same game. I was like, I can't even believe this is happening. Maybe it wasn't the same game because I was watching lots of games, but I was like, this is unreal. I'm a huge fan. Chris Kreider is super underrated as well, but whatever. So that's my thoughts on that series. And I just had to shout out Patrick Kane because that's all I got going for me in these playoffs.
With that series, I'm actually like surprised not surprised because I mean, obviously the Rangers are good. I got to see them play the Devils, so I got a little preview of the playoffs, but it's like, oh my gosh, they're keeping the Devils like goal scorers out of the point sheet, and to do like, you're not gonna win games if you can't score. I mean, Igor is amazing. I hate to say that, but he really is. I mean, you can't deny that. And then obviously the Rangers are capitalizing on everything possible, so it feels like everything's going well for them. But the Devils winning yesterday, I have a feeling like that's gonna turn it around. I need my boy to start scoring, because having to watch, and look, I was watching the game yesterday, and it's going into the second period, and I'm like, I don't think I can fully be like, oh my gosh, the Devils. I'm watching because of Timo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. When they go into overtime, I got the stress towel again because I was like, it's so hard not to like them either. They're
fun to watch, the Devils.
They're fun. They're fun to watch. They're a young team. I mean, if they get bounced in the first round, it's just, they're going to be in the postseason for seasons to come. Like, that's just, you can't deny that. And aside from Timo, I think I am really, really crushing on Nico. He is so adorable, okay? And not just that, but aside from him being adorable, he's the captain, and you see him right there in fights, arguing, talking, sticking up for his boys. I feel like that is what a captain should be. You should be the voice of your team. You should be willing to drop gloves as well. And I love that about him. And I'm like, oh, wow, I don't know what Timo's future is with the Devils, but I'm like, I'm here for Nico.
Good.
Still can't fully get on board with Jack Hughes. I'm sorry. The kid is adorable. He's a great hockey player. He's showing it now. Like, he's finally, I think, matured into into being a hockey player. I think that's the bad part about like these young players, getting signed. They're throwing them out with the grown-ups and expect them to just, be resilient and be amazing. And it takes a couple of seasons, under your belt to get there. So I feel like that's what happened this season with Jack Hughes. He's finally matured and you can see it. But I still I haven't been on board. I'm not a Jack Hughes stan. I'm sorry.
I'm not either.
Okay.
It's okay. All right. Rapid fire. Let's wrap this up with Hunk of the Week. Who do you guys got? I'll start with mine. Brandon Tanev for blowing kisses to the fans of the opposing team. I it was so good. Like, that would just piss you off as a fan. Like you would just be so mad at him for doing that, you know? Like I just thought it was icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. All right, you want me to go?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Alex Iafallo. Just comes in clutch with those goals to help win games. So AI.
Hunk of the
I'm
week.
gonna go with my boy Juice, Adrian Kempe, first star of the game Friday. Like again, he's one of the players I've watched pretty much grow up since the Ontario Rain days, and just to see him be out there, you know, pushing Kane around, I love that because I'm not a big Evander Kane fan. But you know, pushing him around, scoring goals when he needs to, just a veteran presence on the ice. I love it. And I mean, he's not hard to look at. So that's my
Definitely
hunk of the week.
Yeah, sorry. Ringo keeps just like walking in and looking at me like, Mom, are you done? Mom, are you done? And he's just like staring at me. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know, I'm surprised Lana hasn't like popped in because she has a tendency to do that.
Where's Mate?
Mate is probably in the backyard right now.
Oh.
We have to go on a 5-hour drive to Arizona right after this. So he's
Yes.
probably getting some sniffs and runs in before I lock him in the car. I'm gonna be in the car with him. Don't take that the wrong way.
No. Alma, tell everybody where they can connect with you on social media and if they want to meet up with you for a Kings game and be part of your experience.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at Alma_182. I'm gonna try to beat it at as much postseason games as possible, but I don't know, just please don't be overwhelmed by my Instagram. I wear everything and anything on there. I have duck stuff on, king stuff on, sharks. That's just me.
She has some freaking killer custom jackets. It's your cousin who made you that San Jose jacket, right?
Yeah, my cousin does them, and then I found this website online, which this is where I got this from, LF Sports. They take you know, old stuff and just kind of put it together. The Devil's jacket that I wore to the game, it's half a sweatshirt and half a jersey put into one. So
where is this? What is this website? I'm gonna need to go shopping.
LF Stores. It's one out of one custom pieces. So I love it.
Spell it.
LF stores.com.
Okay. All right. So LF stores. I'm gonna go shopping. Breezy's writing it down. We're all going shopping. Maybe they'll give us a discount code. But I love it. Thanks,
50% off sale. Wow.
Oh, let's do. Hell yeah, I'm going on there.
Okay.
Maybe they'll have a Barzal, like a custom Barzal thing for me, because I would. As she shows me an Islanders jacket. That's what we love about hockey fans. Thank you, Alma, for joining us and chatting.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun. It's like our group chat came to life.
Exactly. We'll have to have you back on during the rest of the playoffs as the weeks progress and we see more hockey, so we can get some more hot takes from you. So thanks.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.